My wife served me divorce papers at work to humiliate me, so I gift-wrapped her eviction notice at her birthday dinner. The process server didn't just hand me the envelope, he announced it. David Miller, he shouted across the silent open plan office at 10 a.m. You've been served, courtesy of your wife, Jessica. She says, happy anniversary. My co-workers stopped typing. Heads popped up over cubicle walls. I felt the heat rising in my neck and my vision went blurry with rage as I took the manila envelope. I didn't open it there. I walked to the bathroom, locked myself in a stall, and read the bold text. Dissolution of marriage. She was asking for the house, the car, spousal support, and 50% of my retirement. I sat on the toilet lid, my hands shaking. Not from sadness, from shock. We had just booked a trip to Italy for next month. I thought we were happy. Then my phone buzzed. A text from Jessica. Don't bother coming home. The locks are changed. My lawyer says I have exclusive occupancy until the hearing. Your bags are on the curb. Sorry it had to end this way, but I met someone who actually makes me feel alive. His name is Ryan. He's moving in tonight. Ryan, her personal trainer. The guy she swore was just a friend who helped her with her glutes. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I felt a cold, jagged clarity settle in my chest. I wiped my face, walked out of the office, and called my grandfather's estate attorney, Mr. Sterling. She filed, I said, getting into my car. And she moved him in. Did she now? Sterling's voice was dry as dust. Does she remember the terms of the deed? I don't think she ever read it, I replied. Excellent, Sterling said. I'll have the paperwork ready by 5. See, Jessica made one critical error. She assumed the Victorian house we lived in was a marital asset. It wasn't. It was an inheritance from my grandfather, held in a generation-skipping trust. I didn't own it. The trust owned it. I was just the beneficiary. And the trust had a very specific morality clause. If the occupant brings an illicit partner onto the premises while legally married to someone else, the tenancy is immediately revoked. She hadn't just cheated on me, she had triggered a legal trapdoor. 3 days later, it was Jessica's 30th birthday. She had organized a dinner at our favorite Italian bistro, inviting our mutual friends to celebrate her new chapter. She expected me to be wallowing in a motel. I walked into the restaurant at 8 p.m. The chatter died instantly. Jessica was sitting at the head of the table, Ryan's arm draped possessively over her shoulder. She looked terrified. David, she hissed, standing up. You're violating the restraining order. I'll call the cops. There is no restraining order, Jessica, I said, my voice calm enough to freeze water. I checked the docket. You lied to the judge to get an emergency hearing, but it was denied because you had no proof of danger. I reached into my jacket pocket. Ryan tensed up, looking like he was ready to fight. Relax, meathead, I said. I just brought a gift. I placed a beautifully wrapped box with a silver bow on the table in front of her. Open it, I whispered. It's exactly what you deserve. She looked at her friends, then at the box. Greed won out. She tore off the paper and lifted the lid. Inside wasn't jewelry. It was a single, crisp document with a court stamp. What is this? She frowned, reading the header. That, I announced to the table, is a notice to quit. You violated the terms of the Miller family trust by moving Ryan into the property. The trust has terminated your right to reside there. You have 24 hours to vacate the premises, or the sheriff will remove you forcibly. You can't kick me out, she shrieked, throwing the paper at me. I have squatter's rights. It's my marital home. It's a trust asset, I corrected. And since you're not a beneficiary, you're just a guest who overstayed her welcome. Oh, and page 2. I pointed to the document on the bread plate. That's the bill for the damages. Since you changed the locks without permission, the trust is suing you for the cost of restoring the original antique hardware. That's about $12,000. Ryan stood up. Come on, Jess. We don't need this. Let's go to my place. Your place. Jessica sobbed, turning on him. You live in a van. It's a converted Sprinter. Ryan defended. I picked up a breadstick and took a bite. Happy birthday, Jessica. Enjoy the van life. I walked out before the appetizers arrived. The sheriff enforced the eviction the next morning. I watched from across the street as she hauled her designer clothes into the back of Ryan's rusted van, screaming into her phone at a lawyer who couldn't help her. Am I the bad guy for ruining her birthday, or did she serve herself that eviction the moment she served me those divorce papers?